Hello again, everyone. James Green with EFI. Talking to you real quick about some things that you should be aware of that your customers have access to for free just because they have a Fiery. As we talk through sales strategies and where Fiery fits and where Fiery doesn't fit, a lot of times selling a Fiery isn't always about color or color management or having command workstation or workflow or impose. Sometimes it's just other applications that work with Fiery that are free, but you can only use if you have a Fiery. So one of those products is called Fiery VUE, and this is a free. Customer can download it as a desktop application. And I real quick just want to explain why you guys should be aware of it and where it fits. So first, what is it? Well, it's an interactive desktop printing application that allows customers to be able to produce any type of print document in a WYSIWYG format without using a print driver. So, what does it do? Well, it allows them to take these, let's say I'm an office worker and, my job is X, but occasionally I have to print these booklets. And every time I print these booklets, I've got to pull pages from a Word document, some pages out of a PDF, and some pages out of a PowerPoint to make this complete print document. And I have to combine those and put them in the right order for it to print correctly. Well, for someone who doesn't do print a lot, that's a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort, and doing it through a print driver makes it very complicated. Not to mention that if I have to pull pages out of 3 different types of file types, which I just described, like off Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and PDF, I've got to do all of that legwork up front to make it one document with all those pages in it, and then send it through my print driver and lay it out as a booklet. Comes very daunting task, especially, God forbid, if you don't have Adobe Pro, which most office workers would not have. They would have just Reader. So how does it work? Well, first of all, it is a true WYSIWYG experience. You can see this picture here showing you the pages on the left are all the pages that I've imported in that I say I want to be part of my final product. Over here, it will let me reorder those pages as I need to according to the layout, and I'm getting a real live view of what final print's going to look like. I can add tabs, I can create punches, I can create staples, and the point is it's showing me everything I'm doing in real time, and it'll allow me to flip through the pages to make sure the pages are in the right order, it's oriented the right way, it's got the staple in the right location, or the punches are in the right location. Whatever it is, I get to see it real live, and then I know as soon as I send this to my Fiery, it's going to print correctly. We also have the ability now of adding header and footer content. And at first you might think, well, big whoopie-doo, why? Why is that necessary? Well, if I am pulling pages from a Word document and certain pages from a PDF or certain pages from a PowerPoint, it's likely that those are 3 different, those all have different content that now is being combined in one final document, which potentially means that all 3 of those had header and footer information that now does not match up with the final document. The best example would be numbering. My Word document was numbered 1 through 50, but I only used 3 pages out of that. Well, now my numbering's wrong. Same with the PDF or same with the PowerPoint. Well, now at the time that I'm putting this final document together using VUE, I can add that header and footer content so that this final print document has all the same header and footer content information instead of what was pre-existing on the original pages. Pull it from all those different file types. So where does VUE fit? Where would you see someone using VUE? Keep in mind, this is not something you sell. Customers who have a Fiery have access to this now. If you're working on a new opportunity, that's where you would be making a decision about whether I'm selling a Fiery controller or whether I'm selling a regular controller. So where does it fit? It really fits in these office environments where there are multiple users who are printing material, but again, the print layout's very complicated. They don't do it very often, so it's always very time-consuming and confusing. Any place where they need to capture pages from different files to create a final print document is a really good use for VUE. The other is, print drivers are just too complicated. Users hate using print drivers. It's too complicated. It's too time consuming. Boom. VUE could be the replacement. Any place where the IT department doesn't allow someone to install Command Workstation as their way of managing and printing jobs. All right, so who's my target audience? Well, really, your office environment is your best target audience for this product. But don't forget about the implants and CRDs. Remember, they struggle with, they're not print experts and they're not mail experts, but usually an implant and a CRD is doing both, right? They're doing the print work for the corporate and they're doing the mailing. So any kind of tool that makes it easier for them to get jobs printed is obviously a good fit. Print for pay stores, again, could use this. And your UPS stores, I think, is a great place for this because, again, they're not armed with a lot of print experts. Even their graphic designers really don't know print that well. They know graphic design. So this is just another tool, again, because it's free. And UPS stores in particular, they all have fireys, so it's available to them. So what should you be listening for as a trigger that says this is potentially a fiery opportunity because VUE fits? Well, you heard me say before, these things. If you hear somebody say they hate using a print driver, they do these complex booklets, but they don't have any way of seeing what the booklet's really going to look like before they print it. I wish there was a way I could see it before I print it. We create these files and we take pages from other files and we have to create this final book. Any of those things you hear is a trigger for VUE. So then let's look at, what does this really look like? Somebody show me what VUE looks like. Let me give you an example of Fiery VUE. So first off, again, you can download it. It's a desktop application. I've got it right here. And what it lets you do is it lets you connect to any Fiery. You can add as many Firies as you want to Fiery VUE. That's done right here. Okay, where I can manage my printers. I can add Firies here by clicking the Add button. Okay, and the Fiery I've got selected, it will show me some detailed information about the Fiery itself. Toner levels, what capabilities it has, that kind of stuff. So you can add Firies to this printer list. Then again, when the customer's using it, get off of this guy. I don't know what happened here. It comes up into this screen that allows them to start building a job. All right, so let me launch this guy again. And all I have to do is click Add Files. It immediately opens up my file system and lets me go out and look for documents to add. Now, I'm running a virtual Fiery that does not have Microsoft Office on it, so I cannot demonstrate pulling a Word document or a PowerPoint in here. So all I can pull is PDFs at this point, but you'll get the point. I can, select multiple documents. I'm going to select, I think I'm going to select these two. Actually, let me select this one and I'll select this one. I'm going to select all of these just to give you an example. So it's going to add all these files over here on the left-hand side, and it's going to allow me to start building my document. Immediately, it starts giving me a preview of what I've already brought in. And you'll notice because I selected multiple files, what you should see is a separator. Here's from page 1, page 2, page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's got a lot of pages in it, apparently. It does. We don't want this one. This one's way too big for me to demonstrate for you. But you can see I can go in and delete pages out that I don't want. I'm going to delete all these pages. I'm going to say Add File, just like I did before. Okay. So I can add whatever files I need to in here. I can reorder these just by dragging and dropping, okay? I can do that with multiple pages. You saw just before, if these pages don't belong in this document, I can delete them. Okay, and you see it deletes it. And then in real time, what you're seeing here as I work with this document is you're seeing a preview of what this document's going to look like. It turns out this document is a pretty bad document to be using for this example. So let's get rid of this one. Hit delete. Add file. And let's say somebody's doing a booklet, and again they're pulling pages from different file types. Right? I can preview this booklet as the layout is happening. All right, so again, I can reorder the pages, I can bring other files in here, and then over here on the right is all the things that I can do with this document. So let's say, look, I want to start with pages per sheet. Actually, print on both sides. I want to select that I want to print this flipping left. Okay, and guess what? I want to make this a booklet. As I start flipping through this, it starts showing me whether or not my layout is going to work. And I don't know if you can see it real well, but right in the middle is the staples. It's showing you where the staple is. If I select a staple in a different position, let's say in the corner, look at that. It's showing me a corner flip, which is where my staple is. Okay, so this is real easy if I wanted to add punch, because my machine has 3-hole punching. There's my punch holes. You can see it right there. Let's take this staple off and let's just make it a... There you go. There's my punch. All right. Then when I'm done with my job, I've got a couple options here. I can save this as a template. Save it as a template and give it a name. Right. So the next time I ever want to run a job exactly like this, all I have to do is recall my template, which I can do from here, or I can just send it to print, which again will bring up my printer list, will let me select which printer I want to send it to, and then off you go and you're printing. So Fiery VUE, again, is just a really, really easy way for customers in an office environment, or anyone as far as that's concerned, to have this visual of laying out a print job, validating it's the right order, it's the right orientation, it's got the right features attached to it, and then boom, send it to print. It really just takes the complex details of using the print driver out of the equation. So Fiery VUE, don't forget about it. It's free. It can be downloaded from EFI.com. Anyone who's got a Fiery can use this. The setup is real simple, and if somebody needs help, we obviously can help them with that. So happy selling, guys.